you've seen nothing if you haven't seen this. In Hollywood, nearly everyone's got the same shtick. They have this our way or no way mentality, and a refusal to dance to their tunes makes you the black sheep. Well, Mel Gibson couldn't care less. When Hollywood says, let's do it this way, he does the exact opposite. When they say, well, you can't talk about God or Jesus, he goes on a rooftop and screams his faith for all the world to hear. What you're about to see in today's video are moments when Mel Gibson risked it all against atheist Hollywood. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button for more videos like this. Let's roll.
LA's an interesting place because, I mean, if you're here and you're working here and you're trying to make it here, it's hard. But if you're somewhere else and you do it, it's like they kind of like
there's a mystery to it.
Yeah, they sort of like, hey, let's pick those cherries over there. You know
what makes Los Angeles tick? Like, what makes the industry tick?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Like, what's your assessment? I mean, you're an observer. Like you're a thinker. Like, what's the engine behind this thing?
I was doing a film in Australia, and Peter Weir got a couple of actors who'd made it here. Like there was Sigourney Weaver and a really nice actor called Michael Murphy. And I guess he's still around. I don't know.
I haven't seen him in a while, but he was great.
You know, he'd done some Woody Allen films.
Yeah.
And he was a really super nice guy and very affable and friendly and great to work with. And he was like, I was contemplating, you know, going over there. I mean, I think I'd already been there. And I said to him, so tell me about, you know, should I, you know, if I wanted to act over there, should I go to New York or Los Angeles? And he said, he thought about it for a minute. And he looked at me, and he was older than I was, and he'd been around. And he said, go to New York. And I said, why? And he said, he said, well, you know, New York's kind of a tough place. He said, you know, the worst thing that's going to happen to you there is you're going to get mugged in Central Park.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'll stay out of Central Park. And he said, well, I said, why wouldn't you want me to go? He says, Los Angeles. He says, how should I put this? He says, in New York, you might get mugged or, you know, they'll say F you or, you know, whatever. But in Los Angeles, it's kind of like they want to sacrifice you. And I said, whoa, it sort of blew my mind that he said that. I said, what do you mean? He said,
dark, but it's true.
He said, you'll find out if you go there. I'm like, what? It's like such a weird kind of,
I'll be in Central Park, please.
Yeah. And he said it, and he laughed about it when he said, they kind of want to sacrifice you. And I had this notion that he had been there and had been on the chopping block or, you know, I don't know. It was a weird kind of thing.
Well, it's like they love their narratives here to build up the new thing to get it to a certain level, and they have equal joy of tearing that thing down.
There's a lot of cutthroat aspects to it, and that's okay. It's the beast that is, you know? And if you recognize it for what it is, and you know, just feed it enough to keep it off your back, but not actually take it home. I think you'll do all right. You'll come out of the mess all right at the end of the day.
Whoa! How many Hollywood stars do you know that would deliver such a scathing verdict on the industry? Go on, I'll wait. You're struggling to find any names, right? I wouldn't blame you. The thing about Mel Gibson is that he's not just aware, he's not afraid to push back. Just look at that piece of advice from that Michael guy. It's kind of chilling, right? We've had speculations about Hollywood for a really long time, but there's kind of this limit to the information that you get as an outsider looking in. Now, Mel's not only confirmed that those speculations just might be true, but that the industry itself is a beast. And it all kind of makes sense now, you know? There's a reason people go into Hollywood, relatively unknown and young, all sweet and adorable, only to become unrecognizable as the fame and the money flies in. Those who can't measure up get crushed, and the beast continues to be fed. In the next clip, Mel Gibson sheds more light on this whole LA thing.
I mean, this is a bizarre place. And it doesn't take very long, and I'm sure you've experienced this if you've stayed here for any length of time. You come in, you're fresh from the outside. You're off the boat, from the farm, still got shit on your shoes. You're in here. People are charmed by that you've still got shit on your shoes. They're charmed by the fresh approach you bring to it, and that's a real thing. but they're also stroking the shit out of you, you know, licking you all over. And that's kind of good for you, too.
It's great.
But it doesn't take very long before you realize, or before it gets to you. It's cascading on you all the time. You can't get away from certain attitudes, from certain modes of behavior that this town and the industry dictate. And no matter how strong you are, when you come in off the farm with those convictions and a certain line of attack, no matter how strong you are going to be affected by this place. No, it's going to divert you from where you were going.
Sure.
You're going to be diverted. When I came over here, I was in my mid-20s.
Right.
The first time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
They don't.
And and I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill, and it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it? And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real at the time, and you think,
Most times when we express our concerns about the movie industry, others think that it's all a hoax, you know? I mean, that it's some kind of conspiracy theory. Well, if you won't take it from us, take it from someone who's on the inside. This is a young Mel Gibson, but I don't know why. For some reason, it looked like his eyes were saying a whole lot more. Like, there were things he'd seen, maybe details that he chose to leave out of the conversation. Did you get that vibe as well? The fact that he said this and then so many years later is still saying the exact same thing kind of shows you that Mel is a real one. Of course, with a mindset like this, Hollywood wasn't about to let him have his cake and eat it too.
But it seemed like there was resistance to that movie.
Oh yeah, no, there was,
which I thought was very strange. There was like Hollywood resistance to that movie. Like people didn't like that you were making it. It seemed like
there was a lot of opposition to it, and I don't know. I think if you ever hit on that subject matter, you're going to get people going, because
of course
it's big subject matter, and it's like, you know, and my contention is, you know, when I was making it, it was like, you're making this film, and the idea was that we're all responsible for this, that his sacrifice was for all mankind, and that for all our ills and all the things in our fallen nature, it was a redemption. So, you know, and I believe that. You know, I actually am, you know, I was born into a Catholic family. I'm very Christian in my beliefs, you know. So I do actually believe this stuff to the full. So depicting that was an honor, but it was also, you got the daylights beat out of you for it.
Yeah, because there's resistance, first of all, from secular Hollywood, where for whatever reason, Christianity is the one religion that you're allowed to disparage.
Yeah.
Christianity is the one religion where people, all these progressive, open-minded, leftist people, they'll embrace all these different religions until it comes to Christianity. And for whatever reason, that represents like white male, you know, whatever it represents, colonialism, you know, whatever it represents, it's negative.
Yeah, sure, it's gotten a bad rap. And people do feel free to beat up on it.
Most of what Mel Gibson says or admits to in the previous clips kind of come together here. And you finally get an idea why he kind of fell off in Hollywood from the onset. Those of us who know what it means to have a religious background, we can understand a thing or two about the feelings a religious person gets when they're in a weird place or around weird activities. We're people that were able to spot dark things easier and quicker than most. It's kind of like when a fish knows it's out of water. However, rather than run back home, Mel decided to stay and fight hard against the current to stick to his values. And Hollywood responded the way they always do to people who refuse to dance to their beat. They came down hard on him, mocking his religion and his movie. Meanwhile, for those who don't know, the movie in question is The Passion of the Christ. Of course, they didn't succeed, thank God for that, but the fight never stopped, because these days, it's kind of hard to fit Mel Gibson into the entire Hollywood ecosystem. It's almost as if he's been shut out, and you can't blame him. I mean, what would Hollywood do with a guy like this?
Hey, look, God gives, God takes. We come in with nothing. That's the same way we go out, you know. And here's the deal. You'll always be okay. If you seek first the kingdom of God, you'll always be okay. You'll get what you need. Look at the flowers of the field. Look at the birds of the air. They get fed. They get clothed. I mean, it's Matthew, I think. But that was one of my dad's favorite passages. He said, stop worrying about stuff, about money, about stuff. So, you know, that's, I think he put that in my head when I was very young, and it stayed, and I believe it. You know?
Listening to Mel talk, you just know Hollywood's not about to fraternize with someone who believes money is nothing and the kingdom of God is everything. The money in the spotlight's all Hollywood cares about, and most people who go there are hungry for the exact same thing. And the kind of things that they're willing to do to keep things that way will blow your mind. Well, Mel knows more than a thing or two about this and that, and has been giving us hints for years. The funny thing is, even though he seems to be blacklisted, Mel's still got a super impressive portfolio. He's still wealthy, and he's still in the spotlight. But he's done that without pouring dirt over the lordship of Jesus Christ. Apparently, Hollywood's way isn't the only one to wealth and fame. So why do people keep taking that route and doing shady stuff to maintain their status? I can't wait to visit the comment section and read what you guys think about this. If you found this video interesting, you'd be doing someone a favor by sharing it with them. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.